Hello, this is Carrie again, and I have another video for you today. Today's video, I am super excited about today's video. It's the first of its kind that I've done, and hopefully will not be the last. So for today's video, what today's video is my first ever collaboration. It's a collaboration with Denise from Inliquidcolor, and there'll be a link up there to her channel. Denise from Inliquidcolor and I have been chatting back and forth, you know, for a while now, and she's really cool, and her channel is really amazing and really blowing up. So so definitely check her out up there. So what we did for this collaboration was a lot of fun. She did a drawing for me, a line art drawing on this Arches hot press paper. So she did the drawing, and then what we did, and then in exchange I sent her a coloring book that could handle watercolor and watercolor paper. And the parameters that we set up were fairly straightforward. She got a set of the Albrecht Durer Watercolor Pencils, a set of 24. So basically, and I have a set of 120. So what I decided to do, just to be fair, was to just use the colors that come in the 24 set. So so that was a big challenge for me, was to limit the number of colors that I could use, so that it would be more fair. So I'm going to pause right now and show you the line art that she sent me. It's pretty amazing. So I'm going to pause right here and show you the line art. Okay, so that's the amazing line art that she sent for me. And then once she sent me the line art, one of the challenges, as I said, was to only use the 24 colors. So one of the first things that I did was I got out the set of the Albrecht Durer Magnus 24. And as you can see, I finally did sharpen them because I finally used them, but I need a longer sharpener for these pencils, and I don't know where I can get one because these sharpeners are, the point is not, anyway, that's sorry, I just got distracted. So I got this set of Albrecht Durer Magnus from Faber Castell, and the white one is missing because I sent the white one over to my friend Amy, so she could try it out and see if she likes them. So anyway, so I have this set of 12. So this is pretty much what I use for the most part, and then I added a few other colors, but this is largely what I used for it, just because it's easier than to have to keep track of the 24 and to have to keep taking them in and out. So I use this. So one of the ways that I was able to use this to create the first stages of the background, and I'm going to pause again to show you the first stages of the background. So in order to be able to do that, one of the challenges was to have a large space like that, and then to still be able to use a big water brush. I think I used a size 10 that came with this. So I got this from Karen Dosh, and this I think is a new product, and there'll be a link to it down in the description. And this is really cool. This is a two-sided palette, and on the one side is for watercolor pencil, and you can see that I've used it here. You can see the blue and the green. So what you do is you scrub out some pencil. Okay, so this is some pencil here. You scrub out this pencil here, and then you take your brush and now you have essentially some watercolor paint that you can use. So I had this, so this helped me a lot to be able to make the background and to be able to do the early layers of the green in the background. So I'm going to pause right here and then show you the various stages of production, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the completed piece and you'll see what I've done. All right, so I have, if you can see, I have put in, it took 2 layers to get this very light glaze of green in, and then I'm going to do the brown, wash out the brown, see how the brown here goes, and then after that I'm gonna go back over it with some more green, but I have to decide if I'm gonna do the entire thing in green or just go over the sections. But I gotta see how the brown looks first. Okay, so I have finished the brown, and so I laid the brown down and I thought it was a bit strong, so I went back over and I did a little bit of lifting. The Albrecht Durers don't, you know, they're sort of meant to layer more than lift, so lifting was a little bit of a pain, but I got a little bit lifted and it gave me a very nice texture that I actually like. So the next step is to start going in a little bit finer with the detail. So what I did here is I just put down a little bit of this one color very lightly with a relatively sharp point, and then I'm just pulling that color out relatively far to avoid this right here. So I'm probably going to go back over and redo that a little bit because I want it to look more like this. So so that's this stage of the process. I'm going to try to put in just a little bit of color in the edge and then pull it out. And if I need to darken it, is to just go back over and darken it as opposed to trying to get it as dark as possible. And that's what I did all over. So let me zoom out and show you what it looks like on the outside. And once you get a little bit closer, you can see more of the brush strokes going in that direction. And you can also see the pencil strokes right there of the Albrecht Durer pencils. And I'm trying to put the strokes the direction in which the skin would be going. And you can see that there's a little bit of green over the brown. I'm hoping that there's enough remaining brown pigment on top that a little bit of that brown will mix into the green to give it a more blended look. So that's what I'm hoping for the next stage. And I will see you guys. All right. Ooh, sorry about that shakiness up there. All right. So now I have finished, I don't know if you can see, but I finished the first layer of putting the border around here. You can see the border in there. Okay, so this is the finished piece. And I must say that this was pretty challenging. You can see, as I told you in the video, I need to have this white paper here because otherwise it will change the color, you see, and it will make it look a lot more yellow than it really is. So anyway, so you can see the brush marks here from this is from the size 10 brush that I used. And you can see a little bit of the yellow that was originally here that you saw in the first picture. And so what I did here is I just brushed it out and I did the brush work on the outside with a size 10, and then I used a smaller size. I think I used a size, I used a lot of a size 6 and size 4, and then when I got to the tighter areas like right here, hold on, let's see if I can zoom in. When I got to the tighter areas like right there, I used a size 0 and a size 1. Now what I did, you can see a little bit of the circle. This was from a light green that comes in, I think this is from a light green that comes in set of 24. I'll give you a list of the exact colors that come in the set of 24 down in the description. But you can see that I did the circles here, and I did a little bit of the brown circles that I added there. I added some depth here to the eye. The tail was a lot of fun to do because there was all these different little areas here, and you can see some of the circles that I added to various parts of the tail there. Let me show you the whole thing without the white paper so you can see the whole thing. But this is more of a true color. This is more closer to what the color actually is in person. Was the fact that when you do a coloring book page, usually a coloring book page is set up a little bit different. There's not as much like tiny details here. So this was a little bit of a challenge for me to sort of try to get some depth and to try to figure out what to do with the backgrounds, because you guys know I struggle really hard with the background. So getting this palette and doing the background first was actually it actually was really helpful for me, because since I struggle so much with the background, being able to use that to do the backgrounds first was amazing. And that really freed me up to do pretty much whatever I wanted. The other thing that I really found helpful was because of the nature of the Albrecht Durer and the fact that you can layer so easily. It's not like a lot of other watercolor pencils where when you add additional layers, hold on, let me show you. I did a video on these pencils, but I just wanted to show you here. So just scribble out some red here. Get the brush. This is a kind of a small brush for this area, but I want this to dry relatively quickly. All right, so you do the red there. So I'm gonna let this dry, and so what happens is, like, as you layer it, it's really easy to layer, and the colors don't really lift that easily, especially on this paper, which is a really good thing, because then I was able to create a lot of this depth here. So right here, I don't know if you can tell, she did a lot of the line work here, but then I went in with a dark blue, and I forget what blue exactly it is, and I'll show you, I'll let you know in the description below, but I went in there with a dark blue and a few layers of black. So I mixed a little bit of the dark blue and the black with the palette like I showed you, and I used that underneath there. So once I did that, and I let that sit pretty much until it was almost done, and then I stepped back and I looked at it and I said, you know what it needs? It does need a little bit of a green to go on top of it. So then I took the light green pencil and I just went over it with the pencil, just like as I was drawing with it, you know, just colored it in with the light green, and then I liquefied the light green, and that really worked out really well. And that's the other thing that I really liked about these pencils, is because of how well they layer. You can see here the layers that I used here. You can see that there was a dark green layer, and then I went over it with there was this light green layer that was like all over, then I went over it with a dark green, and then I went back over it again with a light green layer towards the end. And that you can use these as pencils to create this really fine detail right here, like these little circles right here of all these different shades. And I don't know if you can see, but around here, it might not be visible on the camera, but around here I did some white and some light yellow circles all around here, that you may or may not be able to see, but that I felt added a lot of texture to the overall piece, and that I felt did a really good job of showing the different colors and the just bringing a little bit of depth to it. And so that's one of the great things about these, is because of how they layer, it works really well for something like this. And this was a lot of fun for me. It was really challenging because I didn't want to mess up her amazing drawing. I struggled a little bit with the claws. I think I ended up using a mixture of the yellow and the white to do the claws, but I may go back in there with a really light opaque white pencil, just to give the claws a little bit of highlight, because I don't feel like they have enough highlight. So I was talking about the layering. So I swatched this out. So now we're gonna take this ultramarine and go on top of it with the colored pencil, with the watercolor pencil, sorry. And you're gonna see that if you want to make a purple, you can. You have to work it a little bit, but it's not gonna lift right away. Like, all the red is not gonna lift right away. You see how it stays right there, and it lets you glaze it over, and it gives you this wonderful glazing property here. You see how that works? Now if you want to create a purple, the easiest way to do that would be to do it before you wet it. So do it like this. So you put in the blue, and you put in the red, the magenta, sorry, and then you put back in the blue. And so if you do it like this, then you can easily make a purple. So that's one of the really wonderful benefits of these pencils, that I really love this above a lot of the other brands of watercolor pencils that I found. A lot of the other brands of watercolor pencil that I found, when you try to do glazing and layering like this, what happens is that the red underneath sort of redissolves really easily. And so in this case, you can have your choice of what to do with your pencils, and you can use them a lot like paints because of this, and you can glaze them a lot like paints. And that's part of what was able to give me the depth and the just the wonderful effects that I was really happy with here. Let me look for the white card again, sorry. So that's part of what was able to get me the depth that I really liked, without having to overdo it or without having to have excessive features. You can see here, I tried to drop a couple of droplets of water and it didn't really work the way that I wanted to. I think at some point I'm going to find, I have a mister, but I'm going to find the mister, and if not, I'll get another one at the art store, but I'd rather just find the one that I have. And just spray a little bit of a mist on this because I want to take some of these circles and just very so slightly dissolve them. And I think that the easiest way to do that with the circles that I added in is to just use a mister. But anyway, for the most part, this is done, and I hope you guys like this video. This is a little bit different than what I've done in the past, but I'm super happy with this. This is definitely frameable. Oh, last thing is I'm going to show you this. So what I'm going to do to flatten this, what you can do, there's a number of options to do to avoid it warping like this. The main way to do this is to tape it down, but I just didn't feel like it because I like to travel with my work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it down after the fact, mist spray the back, right? And then tape this down and tape it down to a board. Probably I'll tape it down to a bigger one than this. And then put some heavy books on top of it overnight while the spray of water dries, and that should flatten it back out. So hopefully that will flatten it back out. And if you guys know of an easier way to flatten it back out, let me know down in the comments. But once again, I really want to thank Denise from Inliquidcolor for sending me this amazing line art for me to work on. I'm going to show you when we end, I'm going to show you the line art one last time so you guys can see the line art before I show you the kitten clip that you guys love so much. But I think that this was amazing, the combination of working with these great pencils, working with my friend Denise from Inliquidcolor. Just everything was just a lot of fun. It was really challenging for me. I asked my friend Laura for help. This was supposed to be a big secret, but I did ask Laura for help a few times, and she did a wonderful job of suggesting things for me to do. And to really help. So I'm really proud of this piece, mainly because it's such a true collaboration, and that's one of the great things that I love about adult coloring books, is that it's people say it's like children's book, but it's not. It's a collaboration between two artists, and this is great because this was made especially for me. So I'm really happy with this. So thank you so much, Denise, for sending me this out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to show you the uncolored section one last time before we get to the kitty part. But thank you guys again so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and to share this video with your friends. Also, thank you once again to the patrons for making videos like these possible, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, last thing, I totally forgot. Last thing is there'll be a link to where to purchase the various amounts of the Albrecht Durer watercolor pencils down in the description, as well as links to my past Albrecht Durer videos, because as you see, I love these watercolor pencils and I've used these a lot. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.